Hey guys, welcome to the Meet Maker podcast, episode 5. I'm your host, Senior Editor Moe Long. Thanks as always for listening. I'm really excited to talk with maker and YouTuber Bitluni. He is the brains behind a number of projects, including an excellent persistence of Vision Star Wars lightsaber and a super cool home automation lamp. You can follow him at Bitluni on Twitter and at Bitluni's Lab on YouTube, as well as check out his website bitluni.net. If you want to follow us, you can check us out at electromaker.io. You can follow us on Twitter at electromaker.io, on Instagram at electromaker_io, and on Facebook at electromaker.io. And if you want to follow me, you can check me out at Mitchell C. Long on Twitter and Instagram.
And so what did you get started on this morning?
I'm still working on my electro scooter project, and I'm finalizing. I had something to do with the frame to adjust it a little bit, and did some recordings, and I think I will be doing checking all my footage that I have so far and finalizing a script, and maybe I think I'm positive about a new video on weekend. So I will be doing some editing until the end of the week and release it on weekend.
That's awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I love your videos. Not only
thank you very much.
Cool, but you have an awesome delivery for them. It's very entertaining. You have a good on-camera persona.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to be able to kind of talk to you in person after having watched a lot of your videos and read about a lot of your projects.
Thanks. Yeah.
So I guess my first question for you is, how did you end up first getting into the makerspace?
So how did I start being a maker or doing YouTube or maker at all?
So I was actually going to ask both. I was curious
about
your entries into both of those areas.
Okay, I think I had an affinity for making stuff from child on. So I grew up on the countryside in Poland, and I had a grandfather and my father. They had both great workshops, and I was able to play all day long in the workshops. But then we moved to Germany. I didn't have the space, and we didn't have a workshop here. And then after I finished my master and worked for a few years as software developer, I always, when I moved to my flat, I always built stuff myself, like furniture and so on. So I did some making there, and then I started to document my progress and made a website where I was just building a simple bench and put on some few pictures, and people found that page that was really very simple. It was just some pictures and very few words what was happening there. And then I started a company where we did some stuff. So I had a startup, but the startup wasn't working, and in this time, I had a little bit of free time where I wanted to tinker a little bit more, and I started to build my organ pedals project. And since this photos with the bench and the website online had some positive response, I thought, okay, then I will just start to film that what I'm doing. And that was the beginning of my YouTube channel 5 years ago. So I just documented with my basic point-and-shoot camera back then, and it was even format 4:3 format picture format, and then I started this whole YouTube stuff. So it was my free time, and I uploaded from time to time stuff, and so my lab grew and grew, and I was taking on more sophisticated projects from then.
And you mentioned working with software. So do you have a
Yes.
preference between working with hardware or software?
Not really. Software was, I always wanted to be a game developer when I was younger, because I was totally into computer games, and that's how I started also with coding when I was 11 or 12 years old. So I was really addicted, and a really nerdy guy, just coding whole day. And I even wrote a few games that I never published because it wasn't the time, and it was in the 90s. It was hard to publish because there was no internet in place, and I just had internet from, I think, 2000 and on. Yeah, I like coding because it's a whole universe. You can do anything in code, of course, but I also like the tangible stuff. So electronics and things that you can grab and are useful in the household or whatever is also very fun, and you can show it to people. Because if you show code to people, or maybe software, they're not impressed. And you say, okay, I made this super cool calculations on my computer, and here is a graph. And then, oh, yeah, okay. But if you show like an instrument that's playing itself, it's more impressive than that. But I like it as well. So it's yeah, I think software is good for winter time and summertime, sitting in the lab, whereas because it's not heated, my lab currently, I will be doing more software stuff in the winter, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good natural way to heat space. Start doing some crypto mining in there or something to warm it up.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I did crypto mining. I did crypto mining on my graphics card. Really, I think also like 4 years ago or 5. No, it's even 6 years ago, where bitcoins were at about $150. So it was really cheap, and I even mined half a Bitcoin back then. And I had even some Litecoins. And then I had my Litecoin on empty box, and they went bankrupt. So my whole balance was gone, and now it's like $8,000 or something. So yeah, I stopped mining back then. So
probably a wise decision. So I'm interested. What were some of the computer games that you played when you were younger, and what are the games that you developed and never published about?
Oh, I had two MS-DOS games that I developed 1996 and 97, I think. One was a space shooter, something similar to Xenon 2. I don't know, it's a really old game. And an adventure wasn't a jump and run adventure. It was like the view was from the top side, and it was like you were a dude with some weapons, and there was a zombie apocalypse. So it was really great looking, but I was back then in school, and I don't know what stopped me. I think I even lost the source because I had a head crash on my hard disk. So very unfortunate. and then I switched to programming on Windows and stopped working on games on MS-DOS.
Those sound pretty neat. I had to play both of those.
Yeah, they might even run in DOSBox, but I don't have the source anymore, so I have just the compiled versions where you can run around and do stuff, but yeah, it's a sad path, I think.
If you find the source somewhere, send it over. I'd play
No. Okay, yeah.
So, I really love a lot of your projects. Particularly,
Yes.
I was a big fan of the home automation lamp, as well as the Persistence of Vision Star Wars
Yeah, sure.
lightsaber, because
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
big Star Wars geek. But do you
Yeah.
have a project that you've made that you're the most proud of?
The project I'm most proud of. The project I like the most is the lightsaber. Yes, it is really great because it has everything in it. It has this gyroscope and this LEDs, and everything is neat and fine, and with this aluminum pipe and so on. So I spent really quite a time. I think it was even 4 to 6 weeks building it. So I spent really a lot of time to make this project for Electromaker, and I'm really proud of the outcome. The lamps, I don't like them very much because it's very simple. Everyone can do this, replicate this in few hours. So it's nothing that I would be very proud of. Other project that I'm proud of is the composite video on the ESP32. So where I managed with only, it was rather a software project because so it's not very popular. Most software people like this, but hardware people rather don't, because you just connect the ESP with 2 wires to an old TV set, and you see a video picture. So yeah, that I'm really proud of. It was a lot of work, but yeah, it took a long time. It was last winter, so it was cold, and I was sitting here inside the house and rather programming than sitting in the cold lab outside.
So, where do you come up with inspiration for your projects?
Oh, I think I will give the credit to all the people out on the webs and on YouTube. I think it's a natural thing. Even if I can't point out a particular person that inspired me, it's the sum of all the projects out there that I have watched, and they're just in the back of my head. I'm just assembling, or I don't know. It grows in the back of the head, and I think I got most of the inspiration from the inspirations from YouTube and the web, what I see there, as well as daily life, I think. So if I have a problem that I want to solve, I do it myself. Or lack of money. If I see I need that and that's too expensive, I build it myself. So I rather spend more time on building something than working in that time and earning money to buy it. So and also, yeah, okay.
Oh no, you go.
Okay, one last point is what's it might not be worth to do some of the projects because they have been done before, but what's very addicting is the process of learning to do stuff. So I love challenges and learning new skills. So when I see something and that's very interesting, and I will just start to build it and try to learn the skills I need to make it.
And I think it's really interesting what you were touching on there about kind of maker communities. So there are a lot of people who watch you, but what makers do you watch?
I started, so I got the major inspiration starting the YouTube channel back then to document it. So the first steps was EVblog. That's quite obvious because it's the biggest it isn't the biggest anymore, but it was back then the biggest electronics YouTuber. And Charles Lore, it's a rather small channel now. He didn't grow because he doesn't release much stuff, but very impressive stuff that he has done back then.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. This has been the Meet a Maker podcast, episode 5. I had a blast chatting with Bitluni, who you can follow at Bitluni's Lab on YouTube and at Bitluni on Twitter, as well as bitluni.net. You can follow us at electromaker.io, at Electromaker.io on Twitter, Electromaker_IO on Instagram, and on Facebook at Electromaker.io. And if you want to follow me, Meet a Maker host and senior editor at Electromaker Moe Long, you can check me out at Mitchell C. Long on Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating on your favorite podcast source, whether that's iTunes, Podcast Addict, Spotify, or Google Play. And let me know what makers you want me to feature on the podcast.